Tomorrow, June 14th, will be the day that goes down in history as either the day that we stopped a tyrant from obtaining authoritarian control over America, or it will be the day that is known forever as the catalyst of the Civil War in this country. And the decision is ours. I'm making this video devoid of my typical content, which is quite fiery, and I am coming to you with an extremely urgent and earnest plea. You must go. You must fight. You must attend your city's No King's Day protest. This is not an ideological, it's better to protest and fight violence with peace. This is not an, wouldn't it be great if you were, went down in history on the right side? That is not this. This is life or death. This is do or die, and it is now or never. These protests are not unknown to the administration. They are not unknown to Donald Trump. They are very much known, and they are the reason that the National Guard was deployed in Los Angeles on Saturday, because he knew they were coming. And he also knew that by sending the National Guard to Los Angeles, by overstepping federal power, by stripping Governor Gavin Newsom of his authority as the governor of that state, that would incite riot, anger, all of the things. He knew that, and he did it on purpose, because every single second that the Guard is left in Los Angeles, the rest of us are protesting. And what he is signaling is that it doesn't matter if your governor is on your side or not. There's no one here to save you. I can do whatever I want. It's very evident when you examine the case of San Antonio, Texas, which has no history, none, that warranted the deployment of the National Guard. And yet it was the second city to be occupied by the National Guard. San Antonio is not known for coming out to protest. San Antonio is not known for great acts of civil disobedience. I know because it's my city. I know because I attend protests all the time. I also know that when the National Guard was deployed, my mayor was not informed. Therefore, we were not informed. So when we arrived, we did not know what to expect, and it was terrifying. Despite knowing that we were legally and constitutionally allowed to be doing what we were doing, the fear of the National Guard was so thick that you could feel it in the air. I watched guardsmen heckle protesters. I watched them usher Trump supporters with MAGA hats onto the sidewalks to agitate protesters. I watched the leader of our protest get on a bullhorn and instruct 600 people to chant, "Stay focused," because we know that this is the point. Imagine 50 states and at least 50 cities across protesting and being met with the full force of the federal government. It is terrifying. When you are scared, you are much more likely to react. That is what fight or flight is. And that is what they are hoping. As soon as you act, you have broken the law. It is not illegal for them to harm you. It is illegal for you to harm them. And so when you act, they will react. And they will call that violence against the military, violence against police. They will label you an insurrectionist. They will label you those things, and they will say that your protest was a riot, and that is what they are banking on. Because imagine the headlines. 50 states rioting. Someone will have to take control, and he will be the one to do it. He will come in, and he will say that we are all treasonous, traitors, America haters, and there is no one to stop him. He is making that very clear in Los Angeles. When he says those things to us, our anger, more protests, more federal force, more unrest, And that is the part that you need to be the most scared of. Because when we are labeled as traitors, when we are labeled as trying to take over the country, when we are labeled as dissenters and treasonous, he will access powers that are only reserved to him in times of severe unrest. Amongst those powers is the ability to establish a militia. A militia is just a group of people who fight for a cause. He will marshalize them, and he will send them into states and cities as law enforcement. And they will come up against people like you and me. And you know how that will go. And that will be happening in every single state, in every city that is protesting. This is the moment. You go. You remain as peaceful as possible. You do not retaliate. You stand. And if we can do that, then this will go down as the moment that thwarted his power. This is the power. This is what you can do to change something. This is what you can do to activate. All of those of you who keep saying that you can't, your state won't let you, you're in a red state, so am I. You can do this. And this matters deeply and greatly. Please go. And if you can't, because I understand there are people who are caretakers and there are people who must go to work to provide for their family, and that there are those who are being actively persecuted and cannot go to a protest where they are vulnerable. I understand. But you all have social media. And if you have even one follower, this is all you should be talking about. You have friends who you can talk to. You have congressmen you can call. You have Facebooks where you can watch live protests. Virtual participation matters. You can stop forgiving people for what they've done to this country. You do not have to accept people who voted contrary to you and brought us here into your life. You can do these things, but what you cannot do is sit out. You cannot. It is life or death. It is essential. You must go.